While you all are waiting, go ahead and join Dawn in our chat. Go ahead and let us know where you're dialing in from. First time caller. Love to hear from all of you. All right, so I think we're at a good place to get started. So let's dive right in. As most of you know, I am Kate. I am the Director of Customer Success here at Cadre, and happy to help everyone and anyone with any questions you have. And I'm excited to be leading today's How Cadre Works town hall. I know that you all are antsy for this as well. So let me just quickly introduce the Cadre team that we have on hand today, who are all excited to answer any of your questions as well. So to get us started, we've got Kim, who's our general manager. We've got Erin, who is over in accounting, our head of accounting. Jessica, who's brand new. Welcome, Jessica. She is joining us in our accounting team as well. We've got Dawn Penfold, who is the president of Meeting Jobs. I know that most of you are freelancers and proud of it, but if you are ever looking for a full-time or even a part-time, but a permanent placement job, take a look at meetingjobs.com, our sister company. They've got all sorts of postings. Join their newsletter and get updates that way too. It's a great way to do it. We've got Biana, who's our newest customer success associate. And we're also joined today by Michael Showman, who is our director of business development. So we've got a really great team here to lead all of us. And to take everyone through the Cadre platform. So like I said, I'm really excited for everyone to be here today. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so that we can dive right in. Feel free to add questions, raise your hand if you have questions. Feel free to interrupt me is really what I'm trying to say. Just be appropriate about it, you know. So let me go ahead and share my screen so we can all get this party started. I'm going to go ahead and minimize this. All right, everyone. We should be seeing my screen now, which should be showing you a dashboard that looks very much like yours. It should have your name. It should have your picture. It should have upcoming projects. There are also some action items in here as well. There's also projects over on the left-hand side. Let's just dive in and take a look at what that looks like. Of course, it's slow on a day like this, right? And so we've got a very similar setup to yours as well. Once you get in here, you can choose which project you want to look at. Check out those project details. But how did the client get to this point? Let's just take a look at what it takes to actually post a project. It's pretty simple. It's pretty straightforward. Basic information, name of it, where it is, when it's taking place. Are you offering a per diem or not? Clients can then choose how many people they need and also what types of people they need. Are they looking for someone to come in a day earlier than everyone else and maybe be the lead? They can also choose how many skills they want, what types of skills they're looking for. So this is where, when you're viewing those positions, this is where you're going to see all of those skill sets and all of those certifications, if that's what they're looking for. That's where all of this will show up, is if they have chosen all of that in here. They can choose how they want to receive offers, whether it's going to be a range. I know many of you have seen that before, and you can enter your own rate in there, pardon me. Or sometimes they will select a take it or leave it type of situation, a fixed rate, in which case you're set to that one and done situation, either 300 a day or not at all. So we've got that. Here's the public notes area. I know some of you have seen that as well, especially when people are looking for those local and preferred people. The dress code, accommodations. And I'm sure many of you have seen, especially with all of the new clients that are out there with their own policies. This particular client does not have those, but this is where they can add those. So if they've got their own expense policy, make sure you check that out. Do they have an NDA that you're agreeing to when you make your offer? That's in those custom policies. Do they have a code of conduct or a COVID policy that you're agreeing to when you make your offer? This is where they enter all of that information. And lastly, and possibly most importantly on this particular page, is who gets to see this. This is where the clients get to choose who of you out there get to see this. Does everybody out in Cadre get to see this information? And then everyone gets that email out there. We'll post it publicly, like Kate has done here. Or in those situations where Kim is asking for a specific client, whether you're available for those specific dates, she'll post those privately, invite you specifically to it, and that way you two are the only ones with that information. So that's why there are times when you have access to information that other people don't, because clients in here have the ability to choose who gets to see it. They can post it publicly or they can post it privately. But since this one is already posted, let's go back to those details. And now that it's all posted, this is what that looks like. I'm going to turn it over to Michael and help us walk through some of the things that clients are seeing once we get to this point.
Thanks, Kate. In here. So this is a very good look into, again, what clients see. So you can get kind of a different perspective, put your feet in their shoes. You'll see on the right, the red hearts. This indicates that you are a client favorite, a repeat performer. So that right there allows you to pop up first when a client enters in any kind of a job into Cadre. You pop up first. You will get an email, in fact, notifying you when someone has selected you as a favorite. I always like to use a comparison. This is very much like an Airbnb. So that's very important that our clients, one of our goals is to build a bench in each location for a client. Different corporate cultures, different needs, different event nuances. It takes all kinds. So this is very important. Boom to our business, frankly, when a client can just log in and bolt right to the individuals they want. And to step back a little bit, and this is why this is so crucial for all of us, is to, if you haven't already, fill out your profile as thoroughly as possible. We're getting more and more requests as hopefully this COVID thing is going to go the way of the dodo. But we're getting more and more specialized requests in for longer term and frankly more lucrative project work. And it's no surprise to anyone that any kind of CVent expertise on any of their platforms is the most requested filter for these longer term projects. So if you haven't yet, you might want to go back into your profile and fill it out as thoroughly as possible. It'll only provide you with more work moving forward. Clients can see your full profile, by the way, too, not just your bios. So again, this is really important. I mean, every day, Kate can echo this. We're getting a phone call from somebody, a current client, a prospect, a new client. I need somebody in Calgary, Alberta, with 10 years of HTTP meetings experience who speaks Spanish and knows CVent Flex. That sounds funny, but this is what happens every day. So it's very vital that you kind of enter in each of your attributes, tell us more about yourself if you haven't already, and then again, it only kind of speaks to more work headed your way. And any questions on this end, we're happy at any point through this to entertain that. But to beat the dead horse, the more our client sees, the more attracted they're going to be to you and your profile, and you in turn getting more work.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Michael. That's wonderful to hit on all of those really critical points, especially making sure that your profile is as full as possible. I know it's something that we harp on quite a bit. So making sure that it is up there and full so that when they search for those specific skill sets, you can be found. So let's head over to offers, where Dawn is going to take the helm and walk us through this a little bit, show us some of the things that make offers what our clients look for when they're looking at those offers.
Okay, great. Thanks, Kate. So this is the part where you are going to make yourself stand out from the other people. And a client will put in certain parameters, as Michael said. They'll want CVent. They want somebody who's 40 miles away. They want somebody with pharmaceutical meetings experience, or they want somebody with financial meetings experience, or they want somebody who is an expert in food and beverage, or somebody who's an expert in transportation. They will put that in all their specs. So this is your chance to stand out from everybody else of, to what your specialty is. So when you put in your pitch, and there's a part in Cadre, you bring up where they put their pitch in, right down there with the message. You put in your pitch, what you should be as detailed to the job at hand as possible. And each and every one of us in the hospitality industry likes to work with people, smile, deal well with pressure, are logistics oriented, can juggle multiple balls up in the air. That's all of us. That's all of us. But if a client is looking for somebody with a food and beverage expertise, so they're looking for somebody for pharmaceutical, in your pitch, this is where you say, it's great to hear from you. My specialty is pharmaceutical meetings with a food and beverage expertise. I can be on, I'm only 20 minutes away from the location. Be as detailed, because this is what's going to make you stand out. This pitch is so important. We also call it like the elevator pitch. You have to know who you are, and so imagine that you're on an elevator and you have 20 floors to tell somebody all about you. You want to keep it short, and you want to keep it just who you are. So that's with your pitch. The other thing is that you're most likely going to be called in for an interview or a Zoom interview. And we had a great session a couple of months ago with Betty Garrett, and I'm going to highlight a couple of things because on the permanent side, I'm dealing with interviews every day. And what makes you stand out during an interview and when you're talking to people? The first thing I want to say is be sincere. Be completely sincere, who you are. Look professional. This is not the time to show them your favorite sweats. This is not the time to have a t-shirt that may show a religious or political affiliation. You want to look professional. I always say during an interview, always look like you're going into a banking interview. You want to look as professional as possible. Be important with your background. I mean, I just did an interview 10 minutes ago for a permanent position, and the person had dirty laundry baskets behind her.
Oh,
Not a good look, not a good look. So make sure your background is clean, it's professional, it looks good. Okay, during your interview, also know what your client is looking for. They're hiring you to put out a fire. They're hiring you to solve a problem. So if they're looking for that pharmaceutical meeting planner with food and beverage experience, that's what you should hone in on during your interview. So, and do your research if you can on the company. The more that you know about your hiring official, the more that you know about your client, the more professional you come across as wanting the opportunity. And then finally, smile. Really smile. This is not, they want to see your personality. So I'm looking at all these pictures now. Everybody smile. Just smile. Okay. Okay. That's it. Thank you very much. Everybody needs to smile during these interviews. You have to look like you want the job. You're going to have fun. You're going to be good. And how you project that is through your smile. Okay. That's it.
Dawn, thank you so much. That is wonderful. And it's always great to
Thank you so much. That is wonderful. And it's always great to.
Well, that was interesting. A little fun tech for the day.
Well, that was interesting. A little fun tech for the day.
We're getting feedback, Kate.
A little bit. I think I figured out the culprit, and I think we should be okay now. Once again, thank you, Dawn, for all of those pointers and tips. I know that many people have been receiving those Zoom interviews and the chats in there from clients, and I think that that's really wonderful, getting those extra tips, because it sure never hurts to get those extra pointers from a pro like yourself. So the last portion that I would like to show everybody today, and I know we're blowing through all of this, but I really want to spend time letting you all ask us questions. But the last part I would like to show everyone is making sure that you all know that your profile is active. How do you do that? So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen one more time, and I'm going to have Bianna help us out here, because I know she's been helping a lot of you with this as well. Just a second while I pull that up. There we go.
Perfect. Thanks, Kate.
Mhm.
So if you guys look at the account, this is how everyone's freelancer Cadre accounts look. And if you go to the right corner in the account status, you'll see like the little button and the red line. Typically, if your account is complete, it'll be a green line up top, and you wouldn't really have to worry about anything. But if you just click that resolve button or hover over it, it will tell you what needs to be done and what needs to be updated. And sometimes it's typically just a background clearance, or it's also updating your contact information. And just so you know, every year you have to go in and reapply for your background check. It's $15 after the first initial time, which is really nice. It drops down $10. Perfect. Can't complain. But with that being said, that's one thing that I've seen recently when I've been helping people on how to make sure their accounts are complete or activated at least. It's just the background check. Or if you go to the contact information, it's typically your email. And in your email, you have to go through and you have to re-verify your email every year as well. And that is another case of what happens, just why it's not like being complete or why it's not showing activated. It's just either your email's not verified that year or you just need a new background check. But then also I would just say make sure like you go through, double check, and then also if you go to the background section, it can tell you when your background expires. So it's best to be proactive in that one. That way you can just stay on top of it. And then we also send emails. I want to say, is it a month before the background check
We send a
expires?
couple of them, yeah, like a month
Yeah.
before, a couple weeks before, a day before.
Yeah. So
Uh,
you'll be hearing from us when
yeah,
your
we had
background is getting ready to
really
expire, which is good.
had way too many send out, so yes. Excellent. Thank you so much, Brianna. That's really wonderful. Excellent. Great. Well, that was, I know, a whirlwind of information, but I hope that it gives everyone a better sense of how Cadre works from the other side. I would love to take some questions. I know that we're starting to get some in there. Dawn, if you could help me out with that.
We have the first question that came through were how many TDs or meeting planners are there in the Cadre roster?
Oh,
And I was going to answer it, but I'll let you do it because you probably have the more precise numbers.
oh, I don't know about precise. It grows every single day. Last count we were in the 4,000s or so, but that
Yeah.
was last check, which was a little while ago. So it grows all the time.
And we
Lots of,
want to continue having it grow.
exactly. Because I know that we're all getting really busy, which is wonderful, and we're adding more clients every single day. So yes, growing every day, which is great. And yes, we are recording this webinar, and we'll send this to everyone who registered for today's webinar as well. What other?
The other question is there a way to delete or just remove the projects from our list after we either respond or pass it on?
There's no way to delete it. However, the status of it should update for you. So when you're in there, once you viewed it, it will no longer be listed under new. If you make an offer on it, it will update to offer sent. If you pass on it, it'll update to offer passed, and so on and so forth. So it won't delete unless the project gets canceled or gets fully staffed. So if it's just completely gone, you're no longer seeing it anymore. It's because of one of those two reasons. The position was contracted or the position was canceled.
The other question was, what is the meeting job site? And I answered on the chat, but I don't mind shameless plugs. It's www.meetingjobs.com. So tell everybody, okay? I would show you my tattoo, but I'm not going to. But anyway, the next question is there a place where the event lists the expected number of attendees?
In that event notes area, if the client is sharing that information, that's where that information will be posted in the event notes area. But it all comes down to what the client is choosing to enter and to share with everyone.
Okay.
I actually asked that question. Can you get a required field?
I'm sorry, you broke up for a second there. What was that?
I think she said, can we put it as a required field?
We can look into it. Sure.
You
Um,
can always email in that invite the planner and ask that question, how many paths too.
Yeah, very true. In the Q&A section. Yeah, that's right.
Marty Gallagher, can you ask your question because it's a little confusing. You said, I have a question on how to handle clients that may want to go direct for future events after we complete a successful event. Marty, can you go into a little bit more what your question is about that?
Yeah, I would assume that if they found us through Cadre, they should continue the relationship through Cadre. So a couple times recently, one in a pre-interview and then just a casual comment in an event I just completed, they were like, oh, well, gosh, I mean, they were happy with me, but they wanted to maybe do other things outside the scope, like a pre-meeting 2 weeks before the meeting, doing BEOs for them, or, you know, something on that order. So I was trying to look on the site and I wasn't sure what our official position is. I can guess what it would be.
Everyone is an independent contractor. You are, of
Mhm.
course, welcome to get work however and wherever you want. We do encourage everyone to do it through Cadre
Yeah,
for a variety of reasons. One, compliance. Compliance is probably the number one reason for
yes.
your client to continue using Cadre. Dawn can tell and will tell the story of being slapped with, what was it, a $25,000 fine for one
Yeah, I
person.
mean, an independent contractor filed for unemployment once. And the state of New Jersey, and the two states, New Jersey and California, are the most strict about this. They came back to me and said that she was an employee and I was hit with a $25,000 fine for that person. She worked one evening for 4 hours.
Oh my gosh.
And so what, you know, and I know that you're all independent contractors, and Kate, they are. However, professionally, as part of the Cadre platform, if a client is contacting you through Cadre, we would hope that you professionally would say, let's do this through Cadre, just to be professional about the whole.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's an integrity issue for me.
Yeah, it really is. I mean,
So,
I would question a company who tried to skirt an issue, what they're
well,
going
that's
to
it.
do with you.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So I had basically that situation for a potential job, and, you know, they said, well, check it out with Cadre and see what, do we have to, go through them? And I sent her an email and said, I think it would only be fair for us to at least do this first meeting through Cadre, that you found me through them. So, and then I got ghosted. So
Do we have a clause in there for clients, Kate? I mean, I'm asking this question because I don't know. Or Michael, that says that they can't solicit directly?
You're
Michael,
muted.
you're muted, Michael.
Yes, we do. There is verbiage in each contract with each client that they're forbidden from, strong word there, but from circumventing Cadre and going direct dealing with a planner. Now, with that said, and this comes up quite a bit, oftentimes clients absolutely fall head over heels over the planners they use and might consider taking them on as an FTE. We hate to lose you. But that's something that, we talk about case to case. But yeah, Don, there is verbiage in there that they can't circumvent Cadre and direct deal.
Yeah, and so we would appreciate it from you, the independent contractor, if a client tries to do that, of letting us know about that.
okay, cool.
Yeah, I mean, because we should know that, and I think that we would maybe go to our client and say, hey,
What are you doing?
what are you doing?
Yeah, and I could see that they might say, oh, do you think we could use you again? Like the one said, oh, for a couple of weeks before the program, blah, blah, blah. And, that's a fair question, but this one was just trying to circumvent the actual posted job. So
Okay.
that
Yeah,
was,
let us know. Let us know.
yeah, I will.
Okay. The next question we have, do you require clients to follow up with the candidates they interviewed to give them a status update?
We don't require it, no. However, if and when they fill that position, you should receive a notification letting you know that the position was filled automatically. But it is not a requirement, unfortunately, at the moment.
Okay, next question. Do you have clients that have contracted from outside the US?
As in the client is outside the US contracting in. We have had a few people who, especially due to COVID, who couldn't come to America to conduct their meetings and have contracted some freelancers through Cadre to manage those meetings. Yes. Have we had people contract internationally, as in you're in America and you're sending someone outside? Yep, that happens quite a bit as well. A wide variety of combinations. Not as many people that are based internationally, contracting internationally, but we're growing there. So getting there, but not fully there yet.
Okay, the next question from Sue. If you were hired via Cadre, what happens next? I have had no direct contact with the person hiring me. Where does the contract originate?
That's a great question. The contract is all within Cadre. So once they accept your offer, the contract is in Cadre, and you can view that within the event itself. Your client should message you within Cadre, I would think, to get in touch with you, to let you know more details, more scope, more information. But if not, they also have a way of downloading a report to have your on-site contact information, so that when you're on site, they can quickly get in touch with you. But if you haven't heard from them and it's been a little bit, you can get in touch with them via the messaging system as well. Just go into messages, send them a note, ask them whatever your questions happen to be, and they should be able to get in touch with you right away. And if you haven't heard anything from a client in a while and they haven't gotten back to you, feel free to contact support and see if they can help out as well. So support@hirecadre.com will be able to get you away, hopefully. Questions? What else can we help with?
Let's see. Okay, thanks for answering my questions about the number of freelancers on your roster. I joined Cadre very early, but didn't renew after the first year for this very reason, although I still get your emails. Too many freelancers competing for too few jobs. Can you speak to this? And I mean, I'm going to speak to it quickly. There are more and more jobs coming along. And if you're not in the system, you're not going to hear at all. And if you're not updated, you're not going to hear at all. It doesn't cost anything except for the background check to be in the system. So you have nothing to lose to be in the system. And I run into this on the permanent side also. People say, well, I haven't gotten a job through meeting jobs. And I'm like, yeah, but if you're not in meeting jobs, you're going to be guaranteed not to get a job. So Kate, you may want to add to that.
It's exactly right. Clients are only able to view active profiles. So if you take a look, clients are only able to see people who have everything that's completely checked off, which is why Biana was pointing out how important it is to have your profile active instead of having a few things that you're waiting for. Having it active means that a client can search for you. A client can filter and find someone and invite you. It means that if Michael is someone that I'm specifically looking to work with, I can search for Michael Showman in Cadre and his profile will pop up. But if Michael's background check has been lagging, it's been expired and he hasn't renewed it, no matter how many times I type in his name, and no matter how many permutations of his last name I spell, it's not going to come up because he's inactive. So that's the biggest issue. Sure, you can see the projects, which is great, but you won't be able to be invited. So you're really only being able to see a portion of the projects that are being posted. Because if someone were to post it privately, they can search through the entire database, our entire database, once they've posted it. And if they happen to see Jessica go forth and they go, oh man, she would be awesome. I hope that she's available. They can invite Jessica and she will be the only one in Cadre who knows those details. But Jessica only has that opportunity if her profile is up to date.
And we're never going to get to a point where we want to limit the number of independent contractors because we never know when and what will be needed. I mean, for example, you know, we need a independent contractor that's located in Bloomington, Indiana, and they must speak French Canadian.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a legitimate thing.
You know, it happens. So it's one of those things that if you're not, and you know, those are the people that we'd be looking for, but if you're not in the system, you're not going to be contacted.
Yep, exactly.
How many clients post public versus private?
It fluctuates. It really does. It depends on the client. It depends on their needs. It depends on whether they have their own team of people that are actually available to work their events. So it really fluctuates, but there are a lot of people who post privately, especially after the first few times, once they start building their own team within Cadre. Like Michael was saying, we're trying to help our clients build a Cadre within various city locales so that they have people to call on when that Chicago meeting comes up and they need someone to run it for the next 3 days, or a group of people in Boise, Idaho to make it all happen out in Boise. So once that Cadre is built, most people tend to then post it privately and then invite their own people. I don't have precise numbers. I'm not sure that anyone really does, to be honest, in terms of how it all really parses out. We could probably download a report, but there are quite a few projects that get posted privately and invited just between people that they've worked with previously or people that they have found within Cadre. A lot of people are doing that, people that they've found within Cadre and just want to keep contracting again and again. Awesome.
What is the increase for on-site meetings you foresee percentage-wise this year with the mandates, travel lifted in many areas? Come on, Kate, take that crystal ball out. Yeah, Michael, why don't you, you're better at this.
Well, I mean, everyone knows, and everyone's probably sick of hearing about, we're going back to live meetings. What I can empirically tell you is that we're seeing this come through Cadre, be it in the form of, we just got in about a series of about 100 speaker programs. Your typical 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. private back room of a Morton Steakhouse kind of thing. I think that's the big push right now, is just to get back live. We've done the virtual. Something's never going to change. COVID is going to have a lasting effect on how we conduct business, no matter what we want or don't want. But I really do, and I've been doing this all my life. I know many faces and names out there right now, but I really do believe that there's a big push, and this is across all industries too, pharma, tech, finance, and so forth, that they want to get back out there. They want, their relationships with hotels are increasing, getting back to normal. But I really do believe that, as far as live meetings go, we're seeing it change back for the better.
Okay, and I also want to add, usually the last in any recession, and COVID is certainly not a recession. It was much more serious than that. But the financial indicators with the economy going up and down like it is has always been with both freelance and permanent placement. But the industry that was always the last to start hiring again, to me, was always the incentives industry. And I've seen a lot more activity in the incentives industry than in the past 2 years. So I know I'm looking for 3 or 4 people on a permanent placement for incentives, and that's been unheard of. So when incentives start coming back and happening again, you know that people are starting to plan meetings again and get things going again.
I would say just one last thing, that the other thing we're seeing a lot of are clients that need to build out their team in their office, even though it's remote work, still needing to build out that team because their resources in office for those pre-planning moments have been really scaled down. So we're seeing a lot of clients reach out and add to their planning team, whether it's, well, a lot of it's been very CVent focused, of course, whether it's the attendee registration, web build, those have been the two big ones recently. But a lot of clients have had a real need for that remote planning work as well.
Okay, and while you're talking about CVent, I'm going to do another shameless plug for you guys. Kate and Michael and Todd are going to be at CVent Connect, right? When is that? And if anybody's going to be at that conference, stop by the booth. Tell them a little bit more about that.
Yes, April 13th is the big day for that one. We will have our booth there. Go for it, Michael. Tell them more because you know more than I do, actually.
I've been to about a billion trade shows in my life, so I'm not honestly the biggest fan of trade shows. This is the best one, I think, because it's like speed dating. It's one day, you're not on your feet for 4 days. I know we've all been there. It's one day compacted, and basically clients, planners like you and so forth. It's 15 minutes to come by, stop by the booth. One aspect I like about it a lot is, nobody can rule the roost with some big fancy booth. Everyone is assigned their own 10 by 10. Literally all you do is send them a JPEG of your logo. So there's no one-upping the other. It's very, very even-handed. And again, very, very concentrated as far as trade shows go. I know it's, software specific, but I also like it because the people you run into runs the gamut. It's not IMEX where you have 10,000 properties in DMC. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's a nice mix of people who make decisions, either on the planner side or the client side, and it's one of the better run trade shows out there. But I will say this again. CVent is the global leader, and I'm not shilling for CVent at all. I'm just saying, but as far as the jobs we see come across, the requests we see come across, there is a paucity of CVent talent out there. I mean, there is from small companies to large companies, people are looking for planners who, as Kate just said, can handle registration through CVent, who can build registration websites and any of their various platforms. The more you are trained on, are good at as far as CVent goes, really, there's a shortage right now. And if you have that expertise, that's more work. But again, April 13th, if anyone's in and around Vegas at Caesars, we'll be there. Stop on by. It'd be great to see you.
It would.
Okay, we have another question. How does the promote yourself feature work if you don't know who is using the Cadre platform?
That's a good question. Well, we're building that area out. It's kind of a under construction area, if you will. So if you don't know anyone, the purpose of using it is to invite those, whether they are or aren't using Cadre. It's a great way to get new clients into Cadre, and it's a great way to let current clients know, hey, I'm already here within Cadre. So if you have contact information for those clients, go ahead and send it out to them. If they don't have their profile, they can quickly and easily create one. It takes them just a couple of seconds. So that is the invite portion of the promote yourself. The other portion of promote yourself is your social profile, which is another great way of promoting yourself and promoting your profile on Cadre. But again, it's an area that is under construction. We have all sorts of ideas for what we want to do with it, but it's under development at the moment.
Okay. Is there a shortcut for replying to multiple positions within a project that is looking for numerous freelancers across the country? Or is it necessary to go into each and every position and make an offer?
Yes and no is the short answer for that one. You do need to make an actual offer in that position if it's one that's looking for a range. So I know that there's one that's currently posted. I'm gonna go ahead and just share my screen. probably what prompted this question. Let's see if we can find it in here. All right, so I'm going to go over to this small June program, which has, as you can see, 80 positions, and I'm sure is what has prompted this question. For this particular one, if you want to make an offer on every single position, you do have to put an offer in every single one of these positions. But since there are so many, my suggestion to you, put your offer in on maybe the first 3 or 4. That way you're guaranteed to be seen. And if the client then goes and says, yeah, I really like you, they can communicate with you and say, hey, can you make an offer on position 78? And that way you're guaranteed to have that spot. So that would be my suggestion. Go ahead and just do it on the first couple. You can say, you know, whatever your amount is. You can even put different ones in there if you want to see what they come back with and make your offer that way. Now, if you'll notice, this is the profile that Biana was used, or that we used for Biana to show us the incomplete profile. And because her profile is incomplete, she's not able to make this offer, or we're not able to make that offer on her behalf. So another good reason to have your profile up to date.
Okay. Let's see.
What else we got?
If you cannot take a project, date's not available, or maybe they want local only, is it best to pass or just ignore?
I definitely recommend passing. It's just more information for the client. That way they're not continually pestering you, wondering if you're available for it. When you say declined, that way they know that you're not available. You don't have to let them know that you're not interested. You just let them know that you're not available for it. And just click that pass button. There will be a slide out making sure that you are sure that you want to pass on it, and then you're all set.
Okay. Is there someone at Cadre who can work with me to ensure my profile is complete and competitive? The quick shot of others' profiles was great.
Oh, good. I'm glad that you liked that. Yep. Go ahead and email us at support@hirecadre.com. One of our support people there will be happy to help you. But as long as it's listed as active, then you're good to go. But take a look at that tile, upper right corner. Get started there. That'll be a great place for you to get started.
Okay, a couple more questions. There's a wealth of meetings in the government space. Is Cadre a federal government vendor, or has Cadre considered exploring this lucrative revenue stream?
You know, I don't know the answer to that. I'm not sure if Michael knows the answer to that either.
We are not, and I've been through this process a couple times in the past as well. We are not. It is, as you may know, Carolyn, very difficult. We are in the process of figuring out better inroads in. It is tough. It is lucrative. You're right. It's been a small little dream of mine for a while, but we do not qualify at current as far as becoming a government vendor, hopefully in the future.
Excellent.
Okay. Kate, do you recommend making an offer as well as providing date availability outside the Cadre space?
What do you mean by date availability?
Marcia, do you want to ask that? Marcia Williams was the one who asked that. You want to unmute yourself and Marcia?
Hi, it's Marcia. Actually, it's about the small meeting, and I'm working with you, Kate, on this one.
Okay.
Said that, yes, I do have the availability, and so I was just kind of curious how, when you have contact directly versus do you still do the formality of going into Cadre and answering a few of those?
If you have been formally asked for a specific event and you're just waiting for that invitation, go ahead and just wait for that invitation. For example, you know, if Kim were to ask you for a specific event for one of our clients, you would get that email saying Kim has invited you to, I don't know, dinner meeting on March 31st in Oahu. I'm making this up, of course. So you would get that email, and but if you see one that you're like, I'm not sure if I qualify for this, go ahead and make an offer for it. But if it's one that looks very similar to one of our managed ones,
Okay.
feel free to shoot us a quick message and just check. Because there's no reason to have you or anyone else do double work.
Or you guys on the other end too.
Exactly.
All right. Yeah, because, you know, with the pandemic and everything, some of the programs that are historically repeat
Yes.
were pre-Cadre. So I just wanted to kind of make sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it. Thank
Yeah,
you.
sure. Absolutely.
Okay, to follow up on the government question, if a person has government experience, is that something we should add in our profile?
Absolutely. Yes, definitely. Why wouldn't you? I think that would be the better question. Why wouldn't you add that to your profile? Isn't that valuable information?
Yeah. Does Cadre send available projects out to all the freelancers in their database, or is it based on the skills on the freelancer's profile?
It is based on location and who the client, and whether the client chooses someone that's local preferred, or whether they want to notify everyone. So that's what where we delineate who gets notified. Clients get when they're building their profile, they get the option to choose whether they want to notify every single person within Cadre. And that's usually the case if they're willing to fly people in, or if it's one of those in-office planning contracts, or they can choose local preferred. So I'm sure many of you have noticed a major cut down on the number of emails alerting you to various local positions that are not local to you. That's because we've added this new feature where clients can choose that they want to notify local people, and then they can choose the radius as well. So maybe they want only people within a 25-mile radius of their event location, and then only those 25 people will receive that email. That said, every single person in Cadre will be able to see that information, but you won't receive the email for it. So cuts down on the clutter and the spam a little bit. I hope that helped answer that question.
We got to thank you on that.
Oh, good. Awesome. What else can I do to help answer questions, y'all?
We have no more questions on the chat, so I don't know if you want to open it up, or you're in charge, Kate.
I see a hand being raised. Joseph, go ahead, unmute yourself, my friend.
Hello, everybody. Just to follow up what you were just talking about, Kate, can you make that delineation of local only a mandatory field? Because I still do notice, like, some of the ones that are out there now are like, the only way you can really tell is if you go and look and it says no room accommodation provided, and the meeting's in Houston, Texas, and it's only a day or two. So, you know, you're still, obviously they didn't specify, and it probably went out to everybody in the Cadre system.
Sure, that's a great question, a great suggestion, and it is required. So they have to choose whether they want everybody to know or whether they just want to alert local people. And when they do choose that local preferred selection, they also get an option of just how far that radius is going to be. So even still, some people will be like, I just want to throw all the spaghetti at the wall and see what I can get, because you just never know who's out there. And that's a little rough and a little hard to take. But I think that with this local preferred, it's been cutting down quite a bit. And I think that there's also just been a little bit of a learning curve for some of our clients as well, to figure out exactly how to ask for what they're looking for.
Yeah, definitely been a cut down on emails, like you said, for sure. Thank you so much.
Sure. Great question too. I know it was something that a lot of people were asking for as well. And so as soon as we rolled that out, it was a quiet thank you that I got from everyone. You know, it was no longer, Kate, why are we getting so many emails? It was like, peace and quiet. This is great. Awesome. All right. Any other questions that we can help answer for you? All right. We are just about at the end of our time. We've got 10 minutes left. I don't mind ending this 10 minutes early. I really hope that this was really helpful for everyone. I hope that it gives everyone a better idea of how Cadre works. I know that we're always talking about managed and non-managed, and I hope that this gives you a better sense of the fact that really anyone can come in and post their need for an event staff and get that pairing done. We are still niche enough that not anyone is just coming in here, but we're getting some really great clients with some really great repeat needs. So go ahead, update your profiles. If you are looking for a permanent job, full-time job, go ahead and talk to Dawn. Go ahead and check out meetingjobs.com. There's meetingjobs.com. I will over enunciate that for all you. I also would like everyone, if you could, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You'll see my lovely mug up there quite a bit with a whole bunch of YouTube or bunch of how-tos on YouTube. Gosh, I'm getting old. And all of our Cadre talks are up there as well. So whether you missed one from last year or you want to catch up on something else, it's all up there. So go ahead and subscribe. That way you're up to date on the latest uploads in there as well. Everyone, thank you all so much for joining us. Keep your eyes open for next month's town hall. If you've got suggestions for what you would like us to cover, we are all ears. Email us at support@hirecadre.com. Again, thank you so much. Enjoy your Tuesday, everyone. Bye.